That was a nice series, yeah.
Hello, we're live now. We are here. We're here with Watchy, who you will have heard us chatting there because I accidentally didn't mute my mic. I muted the video, so we're just full of technical pro streamer issues today. But thank you very much, Watchy, for coming on. We obviously saw there in the video a couple of clips from you there and some things about you. So really, really glad to have you on. I've been there as my second guest. Pretty early on, but I was actually I think I've messaged you like months and months ago in the past.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to do this, and I would love for you to come on. So really glad to have you. Since we're just getting in, just starting, do you want to have any quick words to say about yourself, just to let the chat know?
Well, my name is Wochinimen, or Watchy for short, which is pretty easier to remember. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Italy, and I live since 2011 in UK. I am a variety streamer. Technically, at the moment, I'm focusing on 3 to 4 games only, but you know, variety is the spice of life. So yeah, I'm very glad to be here, and we talked about this interview quite a long time ago,
Yeah,
and finally now we can get in together to do this.
exactly. Because one of the big reasons I wanted to bring you on though is because your job is that you own a board game shop, don't you?
Yes, I do own a tabletop gaming shop in Chesterfield, UK, called Geeks Headquarters, and we opened in 2015. So it's currently we are going for the 4th anniversary
Nice.
in August. It is a hard job. It is not just as picture in your head probably is, oh, you're gonna play games all day. There is a lot of PR, admin, all the boring bits.
Yeah.
You get to play sometimes, but it's something on the side at the moment.
Yeah. To be fair, you're probably hiring people to play the games of your customers
Yeah,
out more than you getting to do it yourself.
pretty much. Pretty much. We have an army of volunteers that decided to help in the shop and demonstrate games for us and without. Yeah, feels bad, man.
What's up, Tank?
Indeed. Hello, Tank.
But yeah, so 4 years is a pretty long time to be running though, so you must be doing something pretty right and pretty well.
We hope so. At least we are blessed with having quite a large community of gamers here in Chesterfield, even if the town is not as big as you might imagine.
Hmm.
So you still have a lot of gamers that come for any different reason, and the shop becomes not just a front that sells products, but it becomes a place where people actually gather, play the games, and enjoy themselves in an environment that is a friendly one.
That's pretty cool then.
I
So
hope.
so obviously you just said that you don't just sell games, so you do you host evenings then? So community evenings where you just
Yes,
like you pick a game and people come along and they play it and try it out. Is that essentially?
absolutely. Yes, the shop part is basically just the front of the shop. Then we have 3 different rooms that can host up to 60 to 70 people seated. So we have tables, and
Yeah.
then you can either bring your own games and make other people join with you, or
Yeah.
you play tournaments. We have monthly and weekly tournaments of any type of trading card games, or in general miniature games like Warhammer 40k and
Hmm.
other stuff like that. So it truly becomes a club
Yeah.
with a front that sells
Yeah.
games, snacks, drinks, and other things like that.
That's pretty awesome then. That's pretty cool that you've actually managed to be more than a shop, which is probably what you were hoping for um when you actually opened it in the first place. That's pretty cool. So I'm assuming that things like Magic the Gathering and those sort of card games. I'm assuming Magic the Gathering is probably the biggest card game. But what's some of the
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah? So what's some of the biggest board games that people typically like to play?
Well, we have the core community still plays the classics like the more famous Catan and other things. Still are played in the shop, but they're moving towards more of matured type of games.
Hmm?
If you consider in the past that we had Monopoly, Cluedo,
Oh God, yeah.
and Scrabble as the
Snakes and ladders.
Snakes and Ladder. Those 3 or 4 games were the staples for any board game house.
Yeah.
Those have been replaced now by Catan, Ticket to Ride, and Carcassonne, which are the 3 new staples. So those are still played, but people are evolving to another stage, and there are games like Terraforming Mars, which is very popular right now,
Okay.
and it's a fantastic game, but now it's become one of the staples.
Hmm.
And there are other games. I don't know. Zombicide is another one, which is
I think I have
a
played that one, yeah.
fantastic miniature game. But again, they've created a new wave of staples to be played.
Yeah. Just going to be constantly evolving as different generations come in. People maybe want to try something new and everyone starts enjoying it. So it's pretty cool. Yes, there's some really interesting games. Some of the best board games that I've actually played are anytime that you actually have to work together as a team against the.
Yes, absolutely. Things like Pandemic is
Yep.
one of them, for example.
It's a big named one. I think you can get like a browser version of Pandemic as well, and it's.
Yes, absolutely. But Pandemic has become again one of the games that I very like to play whenever I have the occasion. Is that a giant server?
No, that's his kitchen.
No. It's my kitchen. My kitchen behind there. It's not a giant. I don't live in a server farm. Don't worry. You will see my dogs and my wife, so don't worry about that. It's not a server room. No, yeah. Pandemic is one of those games.
Hi, wife.
Hi, wife. They say. Yeah, Pandemic is the best co-op game because you have to work out against the board.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the blue cables. Yes, it's because it's the reflection of my tower light on the glass behind.
To be fair, we'll finish off this tabletop chat, but we're gonna have to get into that cupboard over your. I think it might be the one with all the bubble heads. We're gonna have to get into that at some point, but we'll come back to that. We're obviously talking about Pandemic and stuff.
Yes. No problem. Yes, I played many versions of Pandemic, and they all, of course, against the board. And there is one version in particular of Pandemic which is insanely good, which is the Legacy version.
Okay.
Legacy is an attribute that has been applied to many board games lately. And instead of being a static board game that you unbox, play, put into the box, and the next time you play, it's going to be roughly the same. It's an ongoing campaign.
Yeah.
Which means that the board changes and permanently according to your outcome in the mission.
Yep.
So, for example, if you fail on saving a city in the first mission, that the city itself becomes way too much contaminated, and it becomes a very big problem. Because the next mission you restart not from fresh, but from that situation that you modified before. And the game is basically a one-shot game.
Yeah.
You tear apart cards because if a character dies, the character cannot be longer used.
Yeah. And the same with missions, you can't go back and restart the mission or do it again.
You have 2 attempts because it is based on a year journey. So you have 12 missions and you have 2 attempts for each mission.
Okay.
But it's one of those games like the books. You have a different paths on the story.
Yeah.
So if you fail on the mission, then open this box.
Yeah.
If you succeed in this mission, open this box because there's better stuff on it. So it is an ongoing thing, and it took us 5 months to finish it because we were playing once a week.
Yeah.
But we couldn't play more than a game per session because it was getting so tense. And we said, no, we need to stop now because we were, oh my God, now we have to save the city. No, but we are stuck here. No, what we can do? And it become very tense, even if it's just cardboard and paper. And it's
Yeah.
fantastic. And it's one of the best feelings you can possibly have.
The only issue with legacy stuff though is it always has to be the exact same group almost that play it because you
Yes.
have played it from the start. It's almost
Yes,
like
so
a D&D
yeah.
campaign but on a board game
Yes.
style.
Absolutely. This is probably the best idea is like an RPG campaign, but done with a board game.
Yeah.
And it is great.
My example of what the legacy game that I've played is Gloomhaven. So
Oh yes, I love that game.
it's torturous though. There's moments when it can be just like
Yeah.
really hard, and we're just like, I feel like we're just doing something really wrong at points, but it can be
Yeah, but
challenging.
again, that game, the beauty of that game is an ever-evolving campaign
Mhm.
that modifies through time,
Yes.
and that's the beauty. And the fact that the first time you play it, you unpack your little box and you say, "Oh, which character I'm gonna play? I don't know. There's just a symbol on it."
Yeah.
And you find, "Oh, there's a miniature associated with it. Oh, who I am? I'm the rat guy. Okay, cool. I play a rat guy."
And then eventually, if you've got like, because you're in this legacy in Gloomhaven, you have your own personal mission, and when you complete that personal mission, you retire, and then you.
You retire, exactly. You have to change character. You have to start again all over again.
I know. I think we've unfortunately not actually reached any stage of anyone retiring
Oh
yet,
wow.
so it's something to still look forward to. But yeah, we've had some
Absolutely.
intense moments and just like doing really silly stuff. So I'm playing the assassin essentially, and I'll come out with like
Oh right, yeah.
invisibility and try and do this like double crit with like bonus damage because they're on the road,
Oh
and then
wow.
I end up like failing the hit. I'm like, oh my
No.
god. It's
So
honestly
bad.
happened every single time.
So bad.
So,
But Legacy, if done right, it is a fantastic mechanic.
yeah.
There are some attempts on Legacy games that are not as quite as successful. Like I think that the very first one they made was Risk.
Okay.
So Risk, you place your army, you invade your opponent, job done. In this one, basically, you need to go through 12 missions to set up the stage for how the world looks like, and then move forward to actually introduce the mechanic of the legacy. It becomes, oh my god, I had to play 12 games of Risk, and I still didn't play Legacy? Really? What? Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, that's a lot of games of Risk, and Risk are not short games.
No.
So, if in those 12 games, were they always on the same map, or was it different maps each time?
I think that is. I've been playing for the first two because then we realized how much we had to get involved into that before even starting it. And I think it's the same map, but you get, of course, the situation at the end of the board, according to how it ends,
Yeah.
determines who is the winner, and the army that gets the victory has an advantage in the next game. But then it's still the preparation game, so it's still not as full as it should be.
Yeah.
It's a bit convoluted. But then, of course, they evolved from there and they made something better. Thank God for that.
Well, to be fair, I'd be quite intrigued by a Risk Legacy game. It was one that I used to always play with my dad when I was younger, so it was a solid favorite. And I had some like versions of it on my PC where it was like automatic. So those ones were just insane because people would just build up crazy armies, and then suddenly.
Yeah. I used to play as well on. It was online but turn-based, and you could play at any point, and basically we're sending you an email saying now is your turn to make all your moves. So you do your moves and pass, and then the others will do it.
Yeah.
So it was like a play-by-mail online Risk.
Take months to complete.
Yes, absolutely. We finished one game, probably.
Probably have to have multiple going at the same time so that you could just.
Yeah. Maybe next time. Maybe.
Yeah, that's pretty cool then. So obviously we've been talking about ones that you play now and ones that are getting played in in the store. But is there any ones coming out in the near future that you're looking forward to most to try out, or have you excited and hyped?
There are a couple of them. It feels like that there is now a big explosion of board games
Hmm?
related to video games.
Yep.
So we had Dark Souls making its own game,
Yeah, I heard about that one.
which is a beautifully made game.
Yeah.
Now we had Resident Evil 2, the board game.
Yep. And we had
We have
Doom.
yes, we have Doom, of course. The latest edition, actually, it is a pretty solid one. We have what's his name again? The Walking Dead TV series, but still quite um, present in the scene. We have upcoming Horizon Zero Dawn
All right. Okay, that's pretty
out
cool.
of nowhere, out of nowhere. So, and they are now the same company that made Dark Souls is making Bloodborne,
Okay.
which is it's a bit of a stretch. We have at least 2 games based on Fallout,
Oh God.
on the good Fallout, not on the bad Fallout. So one is more a resource management game, like you could think of Catan,
Yep.
but with actually a story behind. Like you have a deck of cards, and there's a lot of mission, and you have to achieve the mission controlling your settlements.
Hmm?
The other one is basically a skirmish game.
Okay. Okay.
So you have miniatures, and you have a band of I don't know, super mutants and such other things. So it's more a miniature-based game. Uh, the ones that has actually a storyline is a little bit better in terms of realization. But yeah, there's a boom now of games based on video games.
There's also the Borderlands brought out their card game as well,
Oh,
or Claptrap.
that's actually you giving me a news now because I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was part of their announcement. They brought on a couple of people onto the stage and they were
Oh
showing it.
God.
But it's like it looks quite fun. It looks like a quick one. So you're like building Claptrap characters and trying to build
Okay,
up and then fight against each other. But then you get cards that you can like attach to someone else's Claptrap and start ruining it. It looked kind
well,
of interesting and cool.
as long as it's not a TCG game, a trading card game, that is
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah,
The
no, it
world
was.
doesn't need another trading card game.
To
The
be
world is not ready.
to be fair, all the trading card games almost seem to be going into like a virtual with like Magic the Gathering Arena, got Gwent.
Absolutely.
They all seem to be going into that sort of thing. Then we also had Artifact, which has been a complete flop so far from Valve.
Absolutely. Well, Artifact's own demise came to realization when you realized that you could buy with real money the more powerful card.
Pokemon trading card game is dope. Not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. And you know what? The cool thing about that is that if you buy a physical booster of the card game, inside you get a special code to redeem in the game another booster.
Oh, that's pretty good then.
So you can play both at the same time. Of course, you get different booster online, but every product that Pokemon creates has a barcode inside, a QR code, that once you redeem it, you can play it online as well, and it's pretty good. It's actually a very good tool to learn the game if you don't have anybody to teach you, of course, because it tells you where you're doing wrong and what you're doing wrong.
Pretty cool then. I think, see, that was the kind of system I think Artifact was trying to go down, that they were trying to essentially like tabletop simulator. They were trying to essentially create a card game and tabletop simulator and just make it look really fancy and stuff as well, with the way that they were selling their cards online. So you had like this virtual card that you owned. But yeah, it was a shame that it was a bit of a flop. They've kind of left it at that. Magic the Gathering continues to do really well.
To destroy everything.
Yeah.
You see, the last time we had something like Artifact in terms of using real money to get an advantage, it was when Diablo 3 launched.
Okay.
And you had the real money auction house in which you could buy or sell for real cash items that you could find in the game. And they quickly removed it after like 6-7 months because it was becoming a major issue that you could spend real cash or making real cash out of the game by selling or buying pixels
that you
could farm by basically playing the game.
a bit of a shame when you introduce
Yeah,
things that are pay to win and then money starts becoming a related factor to how successful you are.
yeah, because in general, card game, any card game you play online has boosters you can buy online for your money. But the thing is, there's always a component of randomized, so you're never gonna get exactly. I spend X, I get X.
Yeah.
You're gonna get something, and that's the good thing about this card game. If you want to spend money, of course, because everything else you can simply obtain it by just grinding, like everything.
I feel like it's Hearthstone as well.
Hearthstone, yes, that model was introduced first by Hearthstone, and now has been copied by all the other card games except Artifact,
Yeah.
of course.
To be fair, it's not a bad way to do it because it gives you sort of an incentive to keep playing and trying to.
Absolutely.
Like the EA mentality of working hard to get to earn something, just spend all these hours, except they also put a money tag onto it.
Yeah, that is yes. The
Um,
moment you can select what you want to buy exactly, all the grind becomes pointless.
it just becomes if you actually have.
Especially if that something gives you an edge against somebody else. If it is just a cosmetic, whatever.
Yeah.
I was never been fussed about cosmetics in general. If you want to buy them, sure, it's your
Yeah.
money. If you want to open a box, sure, it's your money. But I'm rather just farm whatever I can. I pay for the game. I'm
Yeah.
playing the game.
The only one I ever do for cosmetics is Dota 2, and because they have they were one of the first ones to bring out like battle passes and stuff like that.
Of course, yes.
And it was a free game, and I played like over 2,000 hours, so I'm pretty happy to spend some money on it to look swanky and give money
Absolutely.
back to the company.
But then again, you said it right. It is a free game.
Yeah.
The moment you have a free game that doesn't ask you anything else besides playing the game, you are more than welcome to want to spend something on it. It's
Yeah.
the same for Hearthstone. It's the same for Magic. They are free to play game that have a pay component into them.
That's probably one of the reasons why Fortnite's so successful, and probably how it makes it money, because they're just like
Absolutely.
anyone can just pick it up and play it, and then once people are hooked, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna make myself look cool or getting some money back to the company.
Yes, Fortnite and now the
Apex.
recent Apex and so on. And this is why probably PUBG has been declining a little bit in terms of because with two big brothers like that are free, swanky, stylish, and everything else, it has become yeah, okay, it's cool, but there's better.
Yeah, there is.
Even Ring of Elysium, which is basically PUBG but free, is free.
Yeah. So much easier to like tell your friends, like, I'm really enjoying this game, you should come try it. Cool, I can come along and play because I just need to download.
How much it costs? Nothing. Okay, I'll jump in.
Just let me download it overnight.
Yeah, exactly. The model of having a game for free that gives you friends to play with because you don't have to rely on other to have the game and such other things. It is probably how most of the games should be if they are like online oriented. So it is interesting. And you were mentioning MTG Arena. It is one of the games I play at the moment, mostly offline, because I do stream MTG. But at the moment, with my schedule dedicated to other games, I only stream it once a week for another network as a guest, which is Eurogamer Italy. So, but of course, I love Magic the Gathering. I've been playing Magic the Gathering for the last 25 years.
It's incredible how old it is when you really think about it. And
so you can understand as a Hearthstone player, the moment they said, "Look, Magic the Gathering is launching their own game. It is free. Apply." Sure.
I'm in.
I mean, I don't need anything else. I dropped it instantly the ball with Hearthstone. My Hearthstone. You'll never see me again. I have my new love in terms of card games online, and that's it. For me, it's basically it.
Going down the line of Magic the Gathering, so obviously it's something that you do at your
Yes.
store. What's the tournaments that they called again? Like, do you know the bigger like scene for it? Yeah.
Yes, they just with this new year, there is called the Mythic Invitational or Mythic Championship, and they introduced this year the Mythic Invitational is actually sorry, the Mythic Championship is for the paper version. The Mythic Invitational is open to the online players,
Okay.
and the payout for that tournament is insane because you get $250,000 for winning it.
Mental. What
Yeah. Yes.
what are the paperback tournaments called of previous years? Because I actually have a couple of
Uh,
friends who have competed in them before, and
yes,
like
Grand Prix,
I think
Pro
my-
Qualifier Tours, GPT. So
oh
there is
the
a acronym, GPT,
yeah
BPTQ. There's a million of
yeah
different. But the Pro Tour is the one, the big one.
yeah. I mean, I think my
But
friend was playing in the GP ones because he went to like Paris and
yes,
stuff and played there
yes,
and played in
yes,
like
yes, yes.
Birmingham and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty cool. And he's telling me all these like things and like how the difference of like drawing the wrong card or like how much effort goes into building the decks is crazy.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering is a game created by a mathematician. So the moment you put a mathematician in charge of how a game runs, you know that the everything is suited among a probability, a bit of luck because the random generated number is always present.
Yeah,
Because as your friend said to you, is the card that you draw. If the card is wrong and is the card you don't need at the moment, you can lose the game.
yeah,
But it is a fascinating game, and I spend hours studying the cards, especially because, of course, as a shop owner, you need to be always on the money.
yeah.
So, what is the current trend? What is the current deck? Why it is good? Which reason? How it is synergizing with other things? So, studying Magic is always a learning process because you can always find that a guy in somewhere in America discovered that this card plus this card make a fantastic deck, and he created
Yeah.
a deck and surprised everybody because nobody was ready.
Yep.
It is 25 years old, and there are still combinations that are not yet discovered, and that's the beauty of it,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
Yeah, because everyone's trying. There's everyone that's trying to follow the meta, and there's everyone that's trying to define the meta. The meta.
Yes, the meta, of course, it is called net decking. I see a list on internet. I want to copy it. I find the card, but having the deck doesn't mean that you can actually play the deck.
You don't know when to time things, when to play the cards at the right moments.
What to discard, what to keep in your hand as an opener. If you don't know how to play Magic, I can't give you the best deck in the world and make you win because you won't.
me and Tank are still gonna suck then.
Well, I played 25 years. I never won a major tournament, and I'll tell you what. There is there are judges in this game, of course, because the amount of rules that are being created over 25 years is immense. So when there are big tournaments, there's an army of judges controlling that the interaction between cards is done properly.
Yep.
So I tried, with my experience, to try to do the test to be a judge. Because I said, okay, I've been playing quite a long
Yep.
time this game. I might give a go. It was for level 0. So it was the very basic level 0 judge for Magic tournaments. I read the first question and I spent 40 minutes trying to understand what the question was about. And the whole test is 45 minutes.
Oh God.
So that was okay. Maybe I'm not gonna be a judge. I'm gonna stick and play the game as I know it.
And
I'll
just
let somebody else do the
enjoy it
judge.
as an observer.
Yes, I can judge basic ruling, but the complexity that sometimes you literally have when you have big judge calls, you see those 4 or 5 judges all around the same card, try to with a scheme piece of paper, try to work out how it works. It's oh god, yeah.
Pull out the rule book to find, make sure you're reading it properly and applying it.
Yes.
Beautiful
Absolutely
game.
mental.
Beautiful game.
Beautiful game.
Ah.
Fantastic. Yes.
2K
yeah.
Sports. I do not know who Joe M is. That's a very sounds very generic name. Is that somebody in the Magic scene?
No idea.
Fair enough. But yeah, so I'm really intrigued. I've been staring at this cabinet behind you, and I want to see some of the stuff that's in it. Because obviously you got the bobbleheads, or I forget what they're called sometimes.
Yeah, the Funko Pops.
Yes, the
So
ones.
behind me there is a full collection of Guardian of the Galaxy.
Oh, nice, nice. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. One of my favorite Marvel films.
Yes.
Hilarious.
And yeah, there is a couple of them. They're also for Star Wars. There is a Deadpool. There is a Doctor Strange because it's one of my secondary characters that I like the most. And but there's also part of my wife's collection
Okay.
of Hulks.
Nice.
She collects Hulk. Doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter which size. She collects Hulks. Yeah, she just said the Guardian of the Galaxy are actually hers as well.
Oh, look at you already
story.
trying to claim them.
I was trying to claim them, yes, but yeah, that didn't happen.
I love, honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you know what the best thing about it was? The music. The music in Guardians of the Galaxy.
The soundtrack of that movie is insanely good.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
So
Then
good.
on top, of course, you see a Millennium Falcon Lego.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
And behind me, probably you.
In the server cabinet.
In the server cabinet. I'll see if I can actually show something. Maybe. Well, there is a collection of comics.
Oh, nice.
There's a collection on top of there of my collector edition World of Warcraft and Diablo.
Ooh.
And there is a couple of books in there as well of other like Marvel encyclopedias because you need to keep updated other things.
Especially with like all the different worlds that they have.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's normal houses have I don't know teacups, plates in the cabinet. We have nerd stuff. That's what we do.
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Living the dream, yeah. Well, trying to live in the dream.
Yeah, try. So do you sell like Funko Pops and comic books as well at the store?
We do. I actually started all this thing as I was selling second-hand comics at the outdoor market here in Chesterfield. So I was basically at 7 in the morning.
Oh God.
Open a stall in the winter, selling things that can fly away with the wind, and there was a lot of wind. Trying to see if it was a market for this type of things in Chesterfield. So that happened, and we decided, okay, let's try to go a little bit bigger. So I went inside the shop, and then after being inside the shop, I said, oh well, this is going pretty well. Let's try to open my own shop. But it's something that I wanted to do since I was 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Which is, sometimes you shouldn't be wishing too hard because it might get real, and when it becomes real, you actually have to work for it.
Yeah, and you always have to.
Yeah.
I imagine it's a 24/7 thing as well, because you'll be constantly like, it's just like there's never a proper day off. It's not like my job when I leave, like that's it. I don't have to. I'm just gonna not look at my emails.
I'm always on.
Yeah.
And there's a saying that says never meet your heroes. Well, that kind of probably be applied to this as well. So if you have, I would love to play in a tabletop game. Are you sure? Maybe not.
There's a lot of work behind it.
Yeah. Well, consider that my shop is open 86 hours a week.
Are you the only person that works for the shop?
No, there is myself and my brother as owners.
Oh, nice.
And we have a store manager and an assistant manager inside the shop, and a couple of volunteers. But basically, the shop is open 7 days a week, 7 nights a week. to give the possibility to everybody that actually have also a job during the day to actually come there and relax if they
Yeah.
want to.
Do you know what? It's phenomenal that you don't just sell stuff and that you do offer this community, because there's always going to be people out there. It's kind of why we come to communities here when we're streaming. Is we want to find people that enjoy the same things as us, do
Absolutely.
them, and I offer them a location to go to. It's just, you're not just giving them more, like someone that here, enjoy this game now. See you. You're giving them more than that. You're giving them the community part of it, which is beautiful.
Absolutely. But if you also think about it, if you remove the community part out of any shops like this,
Yep.
what is left? It is something that has to compete with things like Amazon,
Yes.
and there is no competition. If you can't offer something else, then you are Jurassic, and you're going to be extinct. Sadly, it is sad but true.
Yeah, no, you're right, because it's probably very, very easy just to like go onto Amazon, find your board game, and just pick it up and then get it delivered to you whenever you want.
Yeah, you can buy magic cards on Amazon.
Yeah.
You can buy boosters on Amazon. There's plenty of stuff you can buy on Amazon that we sell. The funniest thing is that we get customers asking us if we can price match Amazon on books. Oh, look, I found that this book is such and such on Amazon. Can you price match? I say, no. Ah, okay. Oh, but you can do discount.
If
No.
if you do that, you're going to be out of business. Like,
Exactly.
you can't be competing with Amazon.
No, especially not just on everything, especially on books. Amazon, before selling toilet paper, also was selling only books. So if you're telling me to compete, oh, I'm gonna open a something and compete with Tesco. I'm selling vegetables. Sure,
Ain't no problem at
whatever.
all. Yeah.
Pixie. By the way, if you didn't realize, Purple Pixie in the chat is my wife.
Yeah, I guess that. Don't have a grown-up house.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Nah. You have the house that you've probably always dreamed of since you were a 13, 14-year-old boy.
Absolutely, it's basically an extension of my bedroom as a house. I mean, in our spare room we have marble curtains.
Nice.
All our paintings on the wall are canvases of comics and other things. So, as I said, what's the point of being a grown-up if you can't be happy as a grown-up?
Being a grown-up's overrated.
Being a grown-up is overrated. You should be always playing games.
You should just always be having fun and just doing the things that make you happy and smile.
Absolutely. That's definitely a thing. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that you found something that you're super passionate about and you found a way to actually like continue to do it and put more stress on you for those things, but I'm sure it's super satisfying to be able to have your own store and all that.
Yeah, it is satisfying because the moment you realize that yes, there is the monetary component. You're selling stuff, you making money, but
making money is just so you can do your adult things while you're still.
Yes. But the thing that is the best part of this job is having an environment that is a good environment for everybody to come and enjoy and be themselves.
Yeah.
Without anybody to judge, without anybody to bully, or because we are on the same boat. We are all nerds. We are all geeks. What's the point? We all share different things, but we are in the same boat, all of us. So just embrace your geekiness and your nerdiness and live with it. There's no reason to hide anymore, at least.
Couldn't have said it better. Well said.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, damn, it's so simple, but like so effective and so impactful to the people that come along.
Exactly. It is. The thing is, being a geek and being a nerd now is mainstream because there are personalities that came out of the closet and classify themselves as, oh, by the way, when I'm not directing this movie, I play D&D with my friends.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, this person is cool. He plays games. Oh wow, maybe I can give it a try because this person, I like this person. He's cool. This person.
Weird how it's way more accepted these days. It's a good thing though. In
Absolutely.
fact, you'll enjoy this. So I'm obviously a big NFL fan.
Yes.
In Green Bay, they've got the Green Bay Packers. The offensive line have their board game group. So regularly on a week-to-week basis, these 5 to 7, like 5 to 10, ginormous human beings just meet up and just like sit around a table and play board games.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
Apparently, though,
Uh,
they brought the quarterback along. Never
wow.
allowed to go back again because he was so competitive. He just hated losing, so that it was just like absolutely awful for them. So they just were like, "Nah, you can't come back. Sorry, Aaron."
Fantastic. Well, there is actually, I think, is an NFL player. And I don't remember the name, so I will have to research for it.
Yeah.
That is actually a recurring guest on a YouTube channel for Play Magic the Gathering.
Oh, that's pretty cool then.
And he told for me it's weird because of course jocks and nerds has always been part of the world dichotomies, and you always have them.
Yeah, but
You
they've
always
always been
been there
separated.
and be very separate. So hearing this guy full of tattoos, both like hell, talking, oh, but I'm gonna use this card because it's better for my deck. What is going on here? What's wrong with these people? And it makes me think, have I done things wrong in my life? Could have been both when I was younger. Nobody told me that.
Yeah. There's a couple
Okay.
of actually guys. So there's funny enough, another guy from the Packers, their middle linebacker who led the league in tackles. So this guy was a monster. He was destroying folks, smashing them, hitting them hard, vicious. And then I'm watching a Dota 2 tournament, and he sat there as the guest on the show because he loves Dota 2, and he just what he plays in the off season in his free time. And it's like, the boy's huge. He was making all these nerds look tiny.
Yeah. The name of the NFL player is Cassius Marsh for the Seattle Seahawks.
Cassius
Marsh. He plays for. He's a linebacker for the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh yeah, he is. Like, I'll do you know what? I'll see if I can bring it up. This boy is full of. He looks like your generic like jock.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Look
I
at
said,
him.
and the first time I watched the first episode, he came into this YouTube series. I said, "What is he doing there?
I'm gonna quickly.
Why is he talking competent about magic? What's going on?"
I'm trying to bring it up so we can see on stream so we can show the folks. Like this, honestly, wait till you see this guy. Absolute guns, like arms the size of my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll jump over into this.
Yes.
Add the image. Oh, why is this taking so long?
That's fine.
It's never easy, is it? Being a streamer.
No, it's never easy.
It is. Do you know what? It's probably not even worth it, but it is at the same time.
Yeah, you get your moment. Yeah, as well. Absolutely. There you go. That's the guy.
Look at him. And imagine, do you know what? His best tactic as a Magic the Gathering player would just be to intimidate folk. Just be like sitting across the table, like, just like brings out the guns and slaps his card down.
The first time they played against him, they were actually intimidated by the fact, okay, I'm not gonna destroy all these creatures because you're gonna beat me up physically. But he also has, if you hear him talk, he has this very calm voice, but he probably can destroy you by just looking at you.
Yeah, it's quite insane. Like, yeah, there's quite a few people that are coming out and just really showing a passion for these things. I'm sure there's like former NBA player whose son got into League of Legends, and once he started like getting into it, he actually owns a League of Legends esports team now.
Oh wow!
There was a series on Netflix that was called like the 7 days or something. It was just like had like 7 huge events, and it was like the weeks leading up to them, and like all the things that went on the backstage. And there was a League of Legends one, so I was like, I'll just watch it. And it was like he was a big part of it, about following this story of him building this esports community team, and his team and some of the things that they went through. That one was unbelievable. Like I can't. They got like yeah, they got like being without being a lack of sensitivity. They got really lucky with this story that came because apparently because one of the players' parents were killed back home during that week.
Wow.
So that week of them recording, somebody's like family had been like killed back at home, so he flew out to go meet them, like to obviously have the funeral, and then came back and played the tournament and won because he was just like, I just got nothing. I've got nothing else to do. Like I want to play for my team. I want to be here and play because that's all I've got. Honestly, crazy, and the fact that they managed to record the story and the reactions and how his team handled it, how he handled it, insane.
Absolutely insane, yes.
But the guy who ran the team was just phenomenal. And just like treated him like a great, just a perfect gentleman towards them, and it was pretty awesome to see actually. I can't remember what it's called, so I'm not really being helpful if you ever want to find it and watch it.
But yeah, it is insane how much now celebrities that you wouldn't expect are starting to actually game at any level. You have the likely of Terry Crews.
I was literally just about to say his name as well.
Again, former NFL players, that actor, and now having his own game being made out of him, basically. But you also had people like Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel guested in an online session on Twitch for Dungeons and Dragons.
Did not know that.
And he's a massive Dungeons and Dragons fan. So out of that, it says, "Oh, look, action movie stars sit at a table and play Dungeons and Dragons." But that's how cool. That's how cool it has become. It has become mainstream for this reason, because it's not anymore something you do in the basement of your house. You can still do that, but you know, it's not only limited to that. You have Stranger Things, the TV series. It starts with a session of their own version of Dungeons and Dragons, and oddly enough, now there is a box set of the Dungeons and Dragons they play in Stranger Things, able to purchase.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So they did the double crossover. You see, when you think, "Oh, I sell games," and you think, "Oh, you're selling Risk and Cluedo." No, it's not really like that anymore, I'm afraid. If you say that, you really don't know what is happening in the world.
If you ask someone, it's like, "What's your favorite board game?" and they say Monopoly, I'm like, I'm not talking to you. I'm done. I can't stand that game. I can't stand it. I'm honestly, I've just never played it. I'm not playing it anymore.
No, that's yeah. When you say, "Oh, my favorite game is Monopoly," I would say, "Well, yeah."
You've not lived. Like,
it is a board game because it has a board and it's a game.
Yeah.
But apart from that, there's nothing else besides it. But at the same time, without Monopoly, more than likely we won't have any of the games we have right now.
Yeah, to be fair, like it has been. There was a reason it was a staple, because it was a good, fun family game that created arguments and stories and history, and it brought people together. We did that as a family. We played Monopoly, and my dad was an arsehole, would never trade with me for shit. And I've been like slowly introducing him into new games, and my mum's always like, "Oh, this is too complicated for me. It's not." Blah. I'm like, "Mum, just try it. You'll get into it. You'll really enjoy it." She absolutely loved Settlers of Catan. I couldn't believe she did.
Yeah, it is. It is great. It is a great way of spending your time instead of destroying yourself on stupid activities or looking at your phone constantly, because that's we do have, for example, in my shop, a group of I will say over 60s, which is the University of the Third Age. So they basically started to come as an exercise for keeping at bay dementia, Alzheimer. So by training your head and brain and keeping active, you basically delay these effects. And they started to come like 3 or 4. And then we had quite a large group, and every 2 weeks they were coming there and playing board game. And it was a fantastic sight to see the newest generation playing Pokemon, the middle generation playing Magic and board game, and the eldest still enjoying themselves at the time instead of playing the standard, I don't know, Scrabble, playing something a little bit more colorful.
Yeah,
And it was these are the moment in which, well, I think I made the right choice of opening the shop
yeah.
because this is happening.
That's honestly incredible. Like just like the amount of different generations that you're managing to impact and just bring joy. That's essentially what you do. Bringing joy and happiness to people. Except for the people who lose. They're not usually joy.
The losers, the bad losers are always present. They always be present.
Yeah.
Sadly,
But they're always
but
amusing to watch. But you know what?
yeah,
They're bad losers because they're passionate, because they care. Like you're not a bad
yeah,
loser if you like don't care and you don't want to be there. So
absolutely,
just maybe they could
yeah. Maybe
put that
channel
energy, yeah, channel that energy a little bit.
somewhere else. Yes, I don't know.
I can sometimes be a bad loser, but
Oh, I am one of the worst losers sometimes. The salt that I can produce while losing an MTG arena, we can probably fill entire houses with that.
yeah, when we play board games. So, funnily enough, that you talk about communities, you'll enjoy this, and this is exactly explaining about how like times have changed.
Yes.
Two of my closest friends run a powerlifting gym. So
Okay.
like I go in here and like there's people squatting 250 kilos and stuff like that, and there's big heavy weights, and they do competitions. Like they run it all in Scotland.
Yes.
Friday nights, we meet up there. We go into the office. We play board games. We just nerd out. And I'm not even joking. Like I'm small compared to them, and I'm 95 kilos. I've got like a lineman, a Great Britain, like a GB linebacker,
Yes.
two guys who run Scottish powerlifting. These are some big people, and we're all sat around this table that he actually, one of the guys made himself. Like he made this like a table
Fantastic.
that he can pull out the middle, and it like sits down, and we've got like a little
Oh wow, yes. It's
um,
my dream table.
yeah,
My
so
dream.
he made that himself so we could play D&D in it so that dice wouldn't roll off, and we played like Nemesis, and we played lots of board games there.
Yeah.
Oh, what is so there's a game that we sometimes play, and it's like battleships, but it's like a bit more, it's very like real time, and there's 4v4. What's it called? Oh my god. It's really gonna annoy me now because it's like you have like you 4 people on each team, and there's a board in the
Oh,
mid.
is it it's not the submarine ones. It's not sonar. It's something like that.
Captain Sonar.
Captain Sonar. Yes. Fantastic
Oh,
game.
oh my god, that game is intense. That one really brings out the sore losers in people.
It is a fantastic game. I'm glad that you mentioned.
Oh, that game is phenomenal. I'm gonna have to
For
try and play
those,
that again soon.
yes. So for those that do not know that Captain Sonar is a 4v4 submarine themed game. Basically, every person in the team occupies a different role on the bridge. There's the one that takes the route that has to trace according to what the radar or the sonar guy tells him where to go to find the other ship. It's basically a glorified gigantic battleship game. But instead of just calling coordinates, you need to work out that how much engine you want to put in the how much speed you want to go, and where you want to go to try to not crash on the rocks. And of course, you're playing in front of each other like a battleship game.
I've managed to find a picture, so I've got it up on the screen now.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's fantastic.
Honestly, that game is intense. It's like real time, trying to figure out where you are going. We definitely do not play it properly. We're definitely like there was one time the guys played, and you had like it was like boyfriends versus like girlfriends and friends.
Oh.
And obviously the boyfriends were into Smash, but they couldn't understand why they were getting beat. Like they wouldn't understand. So there's 2 sides of the board for like your engines, and they were using the wrong side of it that kept like creating the things that you could do, like shoot your missile, like send out a sonar, and they were using obviously the wrong side that was getting these things far quicker.
Oh no, that is bad. But
So,
yeah,
oh,
that's a brilliant game. You need a table probably big as that in the
yeah.
picture, but it's a
We
fantastically
yeah, we
good
use
game.
that table that he made, and
Oh,
he puts lights down, like a strip of lights down it, and it just like we put some cool music on in the background. Oh, it's one of the best games that
fantastic.
I'll ever play.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's actually it wasn't on my bullet list to actually be played because I had it in my shop,
Yeah.
sold very quickly, and it's just that I couldn't ever get the chance of actually playing it, and it went in that cabinet of things that you wanted to play
Yeah.
but never had the time to, or not enough hours in the day to play.
Yeah.
Everybody has one. Even if you don't play board games, you have one for your video games.
Yeah, definitely video games. The Steam library is just a full of them.
Yeah, the Steam library is full of games that you just, oh, I might play this one. You play it 20 minutes. Oh, I'm gonna play this one now. I'm gonna play, and you never go back to them.
Uh, um,
It is insane. Yes.
so here's another game that I really hope you've played, and it's one that we sometimes play. It's like a warm-up game. Actually, it
Yes.
was one that I was able to play. So when I left to come to Prague, I did a board game night the office with
Okay.
my team because we always do like when someone leaves, we always do something related to that person. For me, it was board
Yes.
games, so easy enough. We
Easy
played
enough.
Cash and Guns.
Oh yes, Cash and Guns is hilarious.
It's so dumb and stupid. It's just fun.
You become a 2-year-old with a foam gun in your hand, pointing at your mate and saying that I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, and like holding it out like different ways and like round the
Yes,
back, loading it up. Bah, bah, bah.
absolutely. We played the different version of it. There's one in which one of the characters is Cthulhu. You have the standing up, for your character is like shaped as Cthulhu. The one other has, instead of having a gun, has an Uzi mini auto. So it's like the cheating gun.
Oh God.
Uh, but yes, that is the perfect party game, especially if
Yes.
you're having
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
pint or two and you just want to have a laugh.
Always good
Uh,
fun. Um,
Absolutely, yes.
so a couple of other games then I'm gonna bring up, and these ones are in the category of these are working together, but not everyone is. So we have the Resistance and Star. Is it Battlestar Galactica?
Yes. So
So
the Resistance is the card game, isn't
yes,
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
So
those
yeah,
games are just, I don't know if you play them very often, but we love to play them because we just love, like, so those who might not be aware of them, essentially these are all meant to be working together to get to an objective, but there are moles in the team.
yes. So
So,
yes, it is classified as a bluffing game. Yes.
but we've always done it. So one of the basic rules that we live by, absolutely live by, is when you put your head down, you can, like, the people who are moles can, like, put their heads up, find out who else is moles, and put their head back down. First person to talk when we all bring our heads up instantly is bad. So we will sit in silence for 5 minutes, not saying a word until like the person who's actually needs to say something has to say something. We'll sit in silence because we don't want to say that we're bad. Because that is,
Wow.
I think it's got like a 90% hit rate on people who have spoke first are actually bad every single time.
Wow, that's fantastic.
But even then, as soon as they come out, as soon as that person speaks, accusations get flying around. Like no one's done anything. Nobody's actually like done anything that'll make them us think that they're bad. But we just like look, we see a little smirk on their face, or like they look the wrong way, and we're like, "He's a fucking Cylon. He's a bad guy. Get him. Don't trust him." And
Don't trust him at all. Yeah.
and it ends up just being like an individual game of like not trusting a single person.
Yeah, that is a fantastic one. Yes, they are both very good games.
Yeah.
There is another one as well that you might want to have a go and try.
Ooh,
It is Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter. I am going to Google that right now.
Dead of Winter is basically a zombie apocalypse type of game. You are inside a settlement and you need to survive because there's zombie coming out of the
Okay.
settlement. They're trying to break through. and you need to go out and scout for resources and come back and share with your community.
Hmm?
But you have a limited number of bullets. You don't have to make noises and other things. And at the same time, there's always at least one character in the team that is a private mission.
Ooh.
And the private mission could be, I'm just gonna get all your resources and fuck off. I don't know if I can swear.
Yeah, yeah, you can
Sorry,
swear, you can swear, you can swear.
it came out natural. But you have your
That's what it
private
says on the card.
Yes, and you can fuck off. Exactly. So your mission could be get X amount of ammo and go out. But by doing so, you basically say, okay, the settlement has no defenses now because all the ammo, I have the ammo, I have the food, and you're gonna die. And it's a fantastic game, and is brutal and so well made that is. You need to cheer up after because it gets your morale so low because it's gritty and it's so
kicking your ass the whole time.
You need to cheer up after because otherwise I said no, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah, there is some games where you are like collectively working together and you just feel like you're on the edge and you're just about to lose the whole time. And when you finally like get to the end, it just isn't satisfying enough. Like I've just like it's like you've been sprinting from this hungry dog that's trying to kill you the whole time.
Absolutely.
Another one then, very very similar to that then is Nemesis. I don't know if you have
Yes.
played it.
I had a quick look at it. Yes, it is intense.
Yes, we played that for like 3 months straight. Every Friday we played it, just different ways. So we started off so that like when you start the game, you get given 2 objectives. One of them is everyone works as a team and everyone does things. Then you have another one that just like, for example, player 2 must die and things like that, and just like or make sure the ship blows up or make sure the ship doesn't go back to Earth, and it's
oh wow.
And it's just hilarious because you just don't like you're meant to working together. Like you have to work together if you want to survive that game. Like, if you don't, you are going to get fucked. And for those who obviously don't know, essentially it's Alien, the movie made into a board game. So you're on a ship, you've woken up, things aren't quite right. You might not be going back to Earth. There's aliens popping up here, there, and everywhere. There's some scary ass looking aliens kicking about. So you're meant to work together to try and get back to Earth. And there's obviously that one person who just really enjoys and fuck everyone over. There's people who've literally died just trying to get like, I died, but I got my objective and I got you killed, or I got the ship blown up. And it's
oh god, this is bad.
It's like you didn't win. It's like I won in my heart. It's like
I won in my heart. My mission got accomplished, no matter what.
It's a fun, interesting game.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, it's just like silly things that happen, especially in some of the early ones where if you get slimed every time you move into a different room, you're guaranteed to make noise. And in the game, you create every time you walk into a room, you create a bit of noise, and that's how you generate like the aliens because they are coming towards you. And he just kept getting stuck with that every single time. Within 2 rooms, he would be slimed.
Wow.
He was getting really mad. He thought the game was playing against him.
Fantastic.
Oh. Honestly, I love board games. They're just so much fun.
The idea of a board game is it is something that is so cleverly made that it presents real problem, and you need to use all your brain cells to try to overcome these problems, and that's the best part of it. Hey,
what's up, Regal?
I'm gonna do the truffle shuffle.
Do it, truffle shuffle.
I don't even know what it is, the truffle shuffle.
It's from the Goonies, actually. That's why he's probably said it.
Oh, right, yes, you're right. I apologize. We have different names in Italy.
Ah, fair enough. That makes sense.
Which I don't even remember now because last time I watched the Goonies, it was long years ago.
I forgot what we were talking about there for a second. All I can think about is the
games,
shuffle truffle. You're still board games.
Yeah.
Board games, they're just beautiful. Oh, in fact, yeah, because you were saying it right. That like the people who create these are geniuses.
Yeah. And I'm quite blessed that I have a couple of individuals that comes into the shop that actually are in the process of making their own board game.
Ooh.
Which basically I told them that to come to the shop and test it so we can actually work out, because when you create something,
Yeah.
anything, in your head is perfect.
Yep.
When you look at it with your own eyes, it is perfect, but it might not be. It might be that something. It is you're looking at it with daddy's eyes, and oh look, it is beautiful. No, but it really is not. So
Yeah.
when they come to the shop and test the board game, we try to work out if it is actually something that is good compared to what is on the market.
Yep.
If it can be improved, if there's anything else that can be done to make it better, and we test it with them. And
Yeah.
a couple of them are going to Kickstarter soon.
That's pretty awesome then.
So that's another thing. There's another service we can offer.
There's because there's a few like expo kind of like board game expos, aren't there, in the UK?
Yes. There is a big one at the end of May, which is the Birmingham UK Expo.
Yes. Yeah, a
And
couple of my friends went to that one year, and
yes, I usually go there, but mostly for businesses purposes.
yeah, that
of
makes
course.
sense. Good to research and see what's out there and try and make connections, network. It's like being on Twitch, isn't it?
Network all the way. Network all the way for everything. But yeah, maybe getting early on some good things.
Yep.
So you can get exclusive on board games that are coming out, or getting information in advance to then push it to your customers and say, oh look, there's this game coming out right now. Are you interested? It plays like this, and
Yeah.
you show how it is played, because maybe you'll be able to snatch a
Like
demo
one
copy.
copy, yeah.
Yes.
You can start giving people a chance to play it.
Yes, and this is basically the job. Sadly, the eyes are always bigger than the wallet when you go to this.
Oh yeah, every single time, every single time. Especially with
So
some of the games that are coming out. Some of these legacy games are like insanely good, but they are expensive.
I mean, there was 1 year in which I nearly convinced the other 3 people that were coming with me to buy a Civilization giant box. It's literally like the size of a small chest, like a treasure chest, all made of wood, with like all the pieces carved in wood. It was costing like, I don't know, £300. It was like giant, like the size of a table. And I nearly convinced them, but then we came up to our senses, and they said no, maybe not, because then we need the table.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, behind them there was the guys that sell those tables, like the ones of your friend. And I said, but then we need that, and that one is $4,000. Maybe we can't afford everything here. Maybe we just have to have smaller pocket-sized dream.
Go for a small game like Codename or something like that.
Codename, yes, Codename is a great game.
It's again another one that's like got a simple concept to it. You don't have to do much, and that's why
everybody can play it.
Yeah, that's why things like Ticket to Ride and Settlers to Catan, but Ticket to Ride, you literally do 3 things.
Yes.
You do 3 things, and for some reason, it's one of the best game I've ever played.
Yeah, and one of also the best-selling games ever.
Yeah, exactly, for a good reason, because again, it's simple, but you can be tactical with it and have a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and as I said, everybody can play it. That's the beauty of it. There are, of course, games that are gated by age, because you can't play, I don't know, Twilight Imperium with a 12-year-old unless he's a genius and destroys you quite quickly. But there are games that are meant to be for everybody, and that's having this variety of stuff. Is probably, returning back to video games, is probably why Fortnite is such a success, because
Franchise TV
everybody can play it. That's the reason.
Yeah, it is crazy. But no, but it's beautiful though. But one of the best things I find about board games is although like all these video games are taking over the world, and one of the best features is like I can play with someone that's in Belgium, I can play with someone that's in the UK, someone in America, all over the world. But there's just something obviously you just don't get that board game part of it where you can meet up as a group, be face to face, have some pizza, some crisps,
Absolutely. Pizza crisp, fizzy
classics.
drink,
But
whatever.
you cannot. If you're eating pizza, you can't be anywhere near the board game.
No, absolutely. Either you wear gloves or get out.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Have you? Do you know what? This makes me think though. Do you have any bad eaters in that come to your community stuff?
But what? Sorry, bad?
Eaters. I fucking I despise when people like chew loudly and slomp and crunch and
Oh, yeah, yes.
one of the bad things about these things.
Right. So the fact that we have tables
Yes.
to sit on. Only recently we started to sell our own sandwiches in the shop, but
Mhm.
before that, we literally had people coming in with a tray of curry, and the shop started to smell like a chip shop. And it was, yeah, okay, I'm allowing this because I don't want you to starve to death. But seriously, curry and fries, really? Couldn't you? No, I don't know. Get
Eat it before you got
something
here.
else, or eat before you came here. If you really fancy the curry, eat it before, and then you come here. No, it's we don't have that type of bad eaters, but yeah, that's one of the things. Sometimes it is sadly the smell of the food. Now it's being completely improved, and there's nothing like that. But in the past, we had some of the worst possible combination of things. And dear God, but you have to put up with it and be nice and kind and everything else. You can't tell people off because they are still customers.
And the customer is always right.
Sadly, yes. Sadly, the customer is always right.
This was not in the. To be fair, we've actually not even that questionnaire I sent you. I've not even touched. Have you ever had any choosing beggars come into your store? So I don't know if you've ever been on it. So if you've ever been on Reddit, there's a subreddit called Choosing Beggars, and essentially it's just full of people who are putting up stories of people calling them and like or text them. So say they're selling like a couch, and the couch
Yeah.
they're putting up for £500 because it was like £2,000 when they bought it, and then someone
Yes.
and it's like collection only, and then someone texts them and is like, I really want your couch, but are you willing to take £100 and drop it off to me? I live
Oh,
like
yeah.
10 miles away. Essentially, that's what a choosing beggar is. Someone who's going to try and like
Yes.
trying to hustle
Well,
you.
yes. Yes, we had. So, as a part of our business, we also buy second-hand stuff
Yep.
from customers. So 90% of the times the type of purchase is either comics or trading card games, like single cards that people bought collection a long time ago. They stopped playing and they just say, okay, I'm sending you all the stuff I have. How much you gonna offer me? So you have those that are generally have no clue what they have in their hand. So you feel like a pawn shop at some point. You're giving me a bunch of stuff, 20 quid. Oh, but there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, but then I have to sell it. I give you
Yeah.
20 quid. But you need the 20 quid or not?
Yeah.
And then, of course, they start to say, oh, maybe yes, and such other things. And then you say, okay, 20 quid shakes the hand. And then you realize that instead of buying something that is 20 quid, you bought something that was like 200, 300, 400 pounds. But that's sadly, spoiler alert, that's what shopkeeper does in this type of situation.
Yeah.
But then you have those that did all the researches.
Oh no.
So they might not be choosing beggars like you say, but they are the opposite spectrum. They know exactly how much their stuff is worth, and they want to sell to you at exactly the same price.
Yep.
So I found this lightsaber replica is on eBay is £500. Would you offer me 500 if I sell it to you? I said no. Why not? Because then I make no money. You already told me that this saber is 500 quid on eBay. You expect me to sell it at 500 and make no money? What's the point? You sell it to, oh, but it's on eBay. Well, the world is large. If you can reach me in the shop, you can digit something on eBay and sell it, but then I have
Yeah.
to ship it. Blah, blah. Well, not my problem.
No.
I'm gonna offer you 100.
It's like if
But
you
100
went.
is like oh 50. No.
It's like if you went to a car dealership with your car and tried to sell them it for the price that they're going to sell it. They're never going to take it. Because then they have to put
Exactly.
the effort of reselling it for no profit.
Yeah. That's the first question. Oh, you made the research, so you know exactly how this is worth. So what do you want me to do?
Yeah. Just
I
sell
want
it
you to
yourself
buy
if
it.
you want to try and.
Sell it yourself. Put up with your work. You did 4 hours of research of investigating how much this thing's worth. GG. Go sell it on eBay. But
Oh,
yeah, I
some
have
people
the
are special.
yes. A booster of magic is £4. Would you accept two? No, £4. That's the price of the booster. But I only have £2. Well, not my problem.
Hi. Or has anyone ever tried? Because this is one that happens regularly on the Reddit page. So it's if they've
Yeah.
come in and they're like, I really want to buy this, but I only have £20.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but no, but then they tell you they're like, but sell me it for £20 because I've already told that person I'm getting them it, or I've already told that person I've got it. And it's like, why did you tell them you've got it until you've actually got it? Like, oh, come
Yeah.
on. I love that. I
That,
love that website just purely because it just makes me cringe. I hate it. I don't know why I enjoy it, but it's amusing.
it is. We have those type of person, but we also have parents
Oh
that
no.
know nothing about what their kids play, and they're not even interested on knowing what their kids play.
Yeah.
So when they come to, for example, during Christmas period, they come, oh, my lad come here and play games. Which game? A card game. Which card game? Oh, I don't know. Well, it is your kid, I don't know. What's his name? And they send me a name that is the most common name ever. Well,
David.
until you tell me what games is, I can't tell you what to buy.
Yeah.
And they have to phone the wife. Usually it's the dad that is the problem.
Ah.
They usually phone the wife. What game he plays? What? UG? Oh, that game. Okay. Do you have any Yu-Gi-Oh stuff? Oh God! I said, and my entire soul crashes. I said, oh yes, I have this and that. They are this prices. Okay, what do you have for a tenner?
Oh.
So this is Christmas, and this is your son, and you want to spend a tenner on him? Wow, you're such a good parent. Of course, I don't say these things openly,
No,
but
no,
you
no,
see, all this white hair that you see in this picture
no.
here are there for a reason. It's the stress of the fantastic world of retail.
Oh, I've been there. I used to work at McDonald's for 7 years. That place was
Oh
bloody
God, yeah,
stressful.
yeah. I
I've,
can only imagine. I would like to have a sandwich, a cheeseburger without the cheese, without the
yeah.
burger, just the bun with some mayonnaise.
The be-
Uh, so what do you want from me?
yeah. Somebody, one of my favorite ones. This one always sticks with me. But for some reason, I remember it. He came up to me. The boy was raging, so angry. He starts telling me about how he waited in his queue for 10 minutes. He got to the customers. He was very clear in what he sold the person, and it's like, right, what did you want? He's like, oh, I ordered nuggets and I got this cheeseburger in my Happy Meal. I was like, sound. So I just turned around, grabbed the nuggets, give it to him in the cheeseburger, and he walks away. And he's like, you spent 10 minutes telling me this full story, and I could have just solved your issue in 10 seconds. People just love to complain because they think they're going to get something out of it.
Yeah. The best stories I always the shop I am currently occupying used to be a copy center, and
Okay.
after that it used to be a fireplace center selling fireplaces.
Yep, yep.
So we still have customers coming into the shop. Do you sell fireplaces?
Does it look like we sell fireplaces?
I mean, I could sell you a fireplace. I'm just gonna order from Amazon and you pay me, but fine.
And 10% uplift?
Or do you sell DVDs? Have you looked around?
Do you see a DVD?
Do you see a DVD around? No, you see plastic and cardboard. That's what you see.
Imagine if you could speak to customers the way you really wanted to, eh?
Oh God, that's probably my guilty pleasure. is if whenever I retire, the first day of my retirement, I'm gonna make Facebook so happy because I'm gonna start to list every single one of this situation with names and surnames because I'm not gonna have to deal with you anymore. So here's the list.
Yeah, enjoy world, enjoy.
Enjoy world, the private hell I've been living in.
Oh, I honestly
Oh
love
yeah,
board games.
my wife from the kitchen says the best one is Magic players asking me at what time the midnight pre-release starts.
Oh, no, they don't, do they?
They do. They do. Every single time there is a pre-release, they ask me at what time the midnight pre-release starts.
Come on, guys. Like, it's literally,
You
you
know,
literally just told you. Told
Magic
you
players
in the
should be
question.
smart. Should be smart. They deal with complicated, rules and everything else, but that fails
Every time.
every single time. There's no such a thing as what day is Friday Night Magic? That's the second one. I mean, Thursday? Just because we want to be different and we want to confuse our customers?
Well, we got a great view of your wife's South Park mug, but what's on your mug?
My mug is very boring at the moment. It's like
Ah.
literally. But we have Star Wars, Marvel mugs. It's just this one was the first one available
Fair
with
enough, fair
flowers and penguins and yeah. He saw yours. So no, he has the South Park one. Mine is flowers and
Looks really cute
owls.
on you.
Oh look, thank you. It matches my eyes.
Definitely does. Yeah, we've been spending this whole time talking about board games, but that's only just a small part of actually who you are. You're quite a big video game player as well, especially
Yes,
in games that you can actually work in teams and communities in that as well. It just seems to be
absolutely.
um
So yeah, the very first one that started me on this journey of co-op and team play has to be, of course, World of Warcraft. I started to play the game in 2009 and still plays it right now. So it is 14 years in the making still. And I can clearly say that without World of Warcraft, probably I wouldn't be here where I am now because it's the reason why I met my wife. So
so how did you two meet? Were you in the same clan?
no, we're not even in the same guild. So the story goes back to 2010, and I was a guild leader of my own guild that I
Mhm.
created, and she was a member of a guild of my worst enemy.
A real Romeo and Juliet story we've
Is
got going
basically
here.
yes. So since I hated this person with so much heart because I thought he was just a moron, I started to literally randomly, talk to members of his guild, trying to convince them to join my guild.
Ah, a real life troll here.
Of course, yes. Yeah, well, I was young,
Yeah.
younger, younger and unaware of how the world goes. And basically, she was in one of the main cities, and I saw the tagline under the name. I saw that she was part of this guild. I mean, the guild itself was called Dark Lords. I mean, they are clearly the evil. So she
She
was
was a
playing at the
maiden
time.
needing saved.
Yeah, she was playing a priest, and I inspected the gear she was having on, and
For
I
those who
saw
aren't
that.
aware, no, for those who aren't aware, when he was checking out her gear, that's nerd talk for checking her out.
Yes, he was literally inspecting how the stats of the gears was distributed and such other things. And I told her, why are you wearing such and such things? Because this is not for your specialization. Does your guildmaster not tell you that this is wrong? making sure that I put there the hint that
Yeah.
her guild master was incompetent at his job,
Yeah.
and randomly we started to talk. But the other things that she's gonna keep saying is that she actually spat at me. There is an emote that is
Yeah.
spit with a target, and because of course she was aware of my existence because her guild leader told her basically that I was the impersonation of Hitler. So literally, yes. Again, I was young,
Yeah.
unaware. Things like that happen. I might have been a little bit too harsh with my guild sometimes, but not at that extent, of course. But still. And then nothing. We started to talk to each other often and often, more often, and we just clicked together. And we started to. I was still living in Italy, and I kept every 2-3 months. I kept traveling to UK until I decided that I had enough of the traveling, and I decided, well, I've just quit my job in here because I couldn't do it anymore, and I have nothing else besides, well, my family, but
Yeah.
there's always planes to reach your family. And would you want me to come and live with you? And of course, she accepted, and that's what we ended up being. So in 2011, I just left my house after 31 years and just moved country into a different reality, into a different world.
It's a huge step. That must have been terrifying but exhilarating all at the exact same time.
It becomes terrifying and exciting at the same time when you go to the uh, ticket agency and you buy a single no return. That is becomes, oh god, I am I literally leaving my own country now for good instead of having a return ticket?
You're not just leaving your country, you were leaving the sun.
Well, I'm leaving the sun, but this.
Holidays. Also, we're a nerd, so we like the indoors.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine without the sun. We live indoors, as you just said. We're nerds. We don't need the sun outside. The sun burns and is
Does.
hot. It make you
It
sweat.
gives you chapped lips. That's what I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
absolutely.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for you in the end, and it's been
Yeah,
everything that you dreamed of.
absolutely. And of course, being the nerd we actually had a World of Warcraft themed wedding
Oh, that's amazing.
because that's on the
Yeah.
paper at that point.
So yous are like,
Yeah, we had custom made things made to resemble items in game. We went on our way on buying a cake cutter, which was one of the main sword of the game. All the tables had different names that were related to the game.
yeah,
My wife's veil was embroidered with the Horde symbol.
that's amazing. Oh, were you guys
The
both
music,
hordes?
yes, both Hordes always.
Alliance for life, baby.
No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. No, 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 not alliance. No, 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 no. Boo, she says. Alliance, alliance, they are too clean. They are too shiny pants. We love the grittiness and the ugliness and the outsider and the outcast. That's what we are. That's always been odd. I created once an alliance character and lasted like 20 levels, and I got bored of it and just never more.
Ah, well. You still playing World of Warcraft today? The both of you are still doing your raids?
Yes, twice a week with my guild. They still exist after 11 years.
Pretty awesome. You ever, in fact, other than your wife, is there anyone else in the guild that you've met up in real life?
Oh yeah, yeah. We did several guild meeting. Um, some were, of course, easier than others because
Yeah.
the core of the players, of course, is UK based. I never had any Italian in my guild ever.
You're the
Oh,
100% Italian.
yeah, I am the guild master. I had to be the only one. That's a sort of pride on that. But we had, I met a couple of others which are Swedish. It is an incredible thing. We had the meetings, and
That's awesome.
putting a face instead of just a voice. It is something that is in this type of situation priceless.
Yeah. It's incredible though because it's like you see this face for the first time, but you know them so well, and like things just click naturally. Is obviously like it's not like you're meeting for the first time and stuff.
Absolutely.
So the guys that I run the gym with, they actually there was a couple of them who, well, one of the guys played WoW a lot when he was younger, and actually was in his guild, and he's become really good friends with a guy from Glasgow, a couple of guys from Aberdeen, and they every now and then they come up in August to watch the Dota 2 International with us, and we all meet up and just
Oh, fantastic.
which is there. So I usually take the week off and just go and hang out in the gym for a week and just watch the International.
That's
With these guys
fantastic.
that like I've met through American football, through World of Warcraft, and it's just crazy like the friendships you can make for the
But
people that these games.
yeah, but that's the whole point. This type of games, more than anything else, create links and friendship that go past the simple "I'm playing a game with somebody." You end up spending time with these people, and the time you spend is the fun time, and you realize that, yeah, without the video games I wouldn't have met all these people.
Hmm.
And you start to think, well, thank you games then,
Yeah,
because you made me realize that I could have friends all across the world without leaving my room.
friends with the exact same passions and love for same things as you, same interests, the things you can talk about regularly.
Absolutely. That's one of the main reasons why me and my wife work well together. We share interests, we share passions, we share this. We like almost all the same things, and I truly believe that I couldn't um, compromise my life with somebody that doesn't share things like this with me. Because
Hmm.
if I had to say, oh, I'm only allowed to play once a week because otherwise other things happen badly to me, and she doesn't speak to me for the entire week because I decided to play twice instead of once, or I don't know, the fact that we share so many things together makes the life much better in terms of living together.
Essentially, you have married your best friend.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cliche saying, but in this situation, it's very very true.
Absolutely, yes. It's, as I said, I have to thank video games for the life I am now, because otherwise I would be still probably sat in my room playing on my own, and that's about it. Probably still living with my parents, having a shitty job, not happy with my life and anything else. So I had video games and I had people to play with it. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
people hate on it, but it's so much more than just the games. A
It
way
is
of
it is in
life.
some way, yeah, it is a way of life in some ways, because yes, you sat for hours in a very complicated chair, uh, and that holds you for hours and hours, and you don't move, and you just stare at a screen for hours, doing weird noises with your keyboard, playing things, staring at pixel, but in reality you are uh, having fun.
Yeah.
You're making connection and friendship that probably last longer than normal friendships, because the the thing that I lost a lot when I was still in Italy is everybody of my friends around me was having girlfriends, moving out, stopping doing games with us, because apparently that's a thing in Italy. If you have a girlfriend and you had a hobby, the hobby disappears
Yeah.
and you have the girlfriend, and that's it. You don't do anything else. So we had to work around the schedule and try to fit. Oh, can you come out to play tonight? Like when you were like 10 years old. Can such and such come out and play with us, please, Mrs. Yes, he can. Go and play with them. It literally felt that we were dealing with 10 years old at that point. So everybody with girlfriends, getting married, whatever, and I was still me being
Yeah.
single in Milan, playing video games with the world, and those friendships stayed. Some of the other friendships I had in Milan disappeared
Yeah.
because life took them. But the friendship that I have now, for example, in World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
after 11 years, there are still people remember 11 years ago fact of us playing together. And it's how can you find different things than this?
Yeah. You can't find that anywhere else in the world.
No, absolutely not. And this is why I play video games. It's more than just the entertainment. This is the people, and this is why I stream. Is the idea of having an extended living room while me talking to my mates while playing games, having a chat, having a couple of jokes, and just playing.
Joy in life.
Yeah, exactly. I might never be. Actually, I don't want to be the next ninja
Sounds like too much
because
pressure and stress.
it's pressure, it's stress. It's a job that becomes your life instead of being an hobby,
Yeah.
and being forced to play video games because you have to instead of playing video games because you want to. uh, I didn't want to play video games because I want to make it a job. This is why I'm very
You do the job to play the
relaxed.
video games.
Exactly, I am very relaxed in my stream because I know that I will never be the next big thing, and I'm happy with that because I'd rather have a limited number of friends tagging along and saying, "Hello, how you doing today? How's been your day at work?" And just a chat while I maybe play badly some video games, just fine.
To be
Maybe,
fair, I've seen your sniper skills. You don't just play some games badly.
well, sometimes happens that the lock of the shot, But no, jokes aside, it's the extension of a living room expanded to whoever wants to see, and that's why I am pretty content where I am at the moment in terms of visibility.
Nothing wrong with being content. Being content's being happy.
Absolutely, as long as you're happy with yourself, everything else goes with it.
And the best thing about these sort of things is if you are small and stuff, you're just surrounding yourself by other awesome people and just another extension of yourself, really. But
Absolutely,
I,
uh, I am thankful to be uh, an admin of Forge because there are so many awesome peoples in there
oh yeah,
that are just
there's some
there.
amazing people in there.
Yes, and they're just there, like me, trying to figure out how this malarkey of Twitch works, and we are all on the same boat, and we try to help each other, and that's the best part. Again, it's the idea of why we should be competing against each other, while we can help each other making a decent living or a decent life in the online world.
Is is when you're surrounded by people who are happy to see you succeed.
Absolutely. And they're there to support you.
Yeah,
I mean, I
give
keep saying,
advice.
exactly. I keep saying to everybody that comes to my stream and said, uh, there is no need to subscribe. Uh, if you don't have the money, if you want to support me, just be in the chat. There's no need to subscribe because with that money that you're spending on me, you could have bought another game.
could
That's
be
I'm
could be playing the Division 2 with you.
absolutely. In fact, if Ubisoft is actually watching, I've sold for you many copies. I would like, after the visit you did today, I would like something in exchange. But you know,
To be fair, you almost got me bought on it.
ooh,
I was tempted.
close. No, jokes aside, uh, at the age of 38, nearly 39, you still fanboy when people like Ubisoft come and say hello to you in your stream and said, why you choosing me among the a million there are? But it is a nice feeling. It is a nice feeling. Yeah, actually, my wife just said I would like the teddy off my back from Division. Oh, I can ask. I think you can buy it. Yeah, there's a teddy bear as
Like,
like a trinket that dangle on my backpack in Division, and it was like a premium things that you get by pre-ordering the game.
that's pretty
And she
cool.
was the real one.
Yeah,
Now I'm gonna have to find a way to get it now.
that'd be pretty cool. So, do you both play the Division together as
No,
well?
she doesn't play Division 2. She plays World of Warcraft still,
Yep.
and she plays with me Grim Dawn, which is Diablo 3 clone,
Okay.
sort of. So it's an action RPG game. So we play that together on stream, not just me with a cam, of course, on every Sunday. It's one of the very few games that we have left to play together, because she enjoys at this point much more uh, watching me playing games,
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
it's relaxing. So that's one of the reasons why I stream, is because I know that she enjoys watching it.
Yeah.
So at least if we remove all the bots from my stream, at least I know that there is one that is real, constantly there,
Oh, those
which is
dumb
my wife.
bots. Your
So I know that at least I have one true viewer, which is my wife, and that's enough.
biggest fan.
My biggest fan, indeed. So on the Monday, like today, there's story time. So I'm playing The Witcher, and she listened to the story.
Oh, The
And
Witcher's so good.
yes, and when I was playing No Man's Sky on a Saturday, again, that was the big sense of wonder of exploring worlds
Mm.
and seeing these pretty things and seeing these weird animals and such other things. So she was living through my stream games that are just enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. Nice and relaxing. Nice and chill. And if you're happy doing it, then keep on doing
Absolutely.
it.
She even picked up a little bit of Magic the Gathering while watching me. Now at least she recognizes by name some of the cards. She's probably still about clueless about the rules of the game.
Probably because you're still clueless about the rules of the game as well.
But yeah, I'm still clueless about some of the rules anyway. So, but yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Exciting times to be watching, eh? Literally just living the dream, guys. Living the dream here, and we've managed to enjoy it for the last hour and 45 minutes, getting a little bit of insight into it all, the history, what makes it tick, what he's passionate about. It's been great.
That's
Honestly,
fantastic. Yes.
that was I don't know about you, but I'm thinking we should maybe start wrapping up the chat part of it. I don't know if you're still wanting to play some
No,
games together.
if you want, sure, no problem. I have no problem on that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm gonna give you this opportunity. You've given me your time, your stories, your passion. If you want to take this chance to plug yourself, your channel, about what you do, who you are, and anything you want to
Well,
mention.
no problem. Well, as we probably said already throughout the channel, I stream basically 7 days a week, and for me is an hobby. I stream after work most of the time, so it's like a way to relax and other things. I play mostly at the moment Division 2 with the clan of the Forge. I play on a Monday. I play The Witcher 3 as my story day,
Phenomenal game.
and on yes, fantastic game. And I stream for Eurogamer Italy on every Tuesday on their channel as a guest, and I stream their Magic the Gathering. And Wednesday and Sunday I stream my raid on World of Warcraft with my guild, going through fails, uh, bad dad jokes, mostly from me, and lots of failures, but there are some good victories as you captured one in your
You're
uh, promo video.
Yeah, that one was awesome. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "This is awesome!" Because you know the best part about that video was it was just for ages. Like just for like the first like 20 seconds, it was just pure concentration, dedication, hard work, and then at the last
Yes.
second,
You know why? It's because we've been on that fucking boss for the last 2 months.
2 months.
That was, I believe, the 70th time we pulled the boss and tried to kill it. So can you imagine now the freedom of say, bloody hell, we finally killed it. Let's move on now.
It's more of a relief more than a
Yes, exactly. It was a bloody relief. Yes,
well. Well, I'm glad you got it captured on a clip as well, so we could continue to share it with the world.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
Oh, man, you've been such a great guest to have you. I've loved chatting with you about all these like different
fantastic.
things and
My pleasure.
so passionate and just like so content and happy with everything that's going on. I obviously wish you the most success with your business. I hope it continues to be everything that you want it to
Absolutely.
be. Um,
I hope so. I hope so for the long time.
just keep living that dream. Hopefully, you don't come across any bosses that take any 2 months to complete on World of Warcraft. But to be fair,
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so.
to be fair, those moments like you've worked hard for them for so long, it is enjoyable and you'll never forget it. So
Oh no, absolutely. I believe there is still a video on YouTube dated, I think, 2010 of my killing the Lich King somewhere in the ether, still in the YouTube. Wow,
all right,
memories.
I'm gonna be open and honest. I never actually reached endgame on World of Warcraft once.
That's not a problem. My wife Michelle is pretty content on just logging into the game, picking herbs, and collecting pets like a true Pokemon player.
Yeah, I never managed to get high enough. Every time I was close, they brought out a new one, and I was like, "Oh, I'm done grinding."
Yeah, but to me, it's just
Beautiful. Yeah,
the thrill of the kill.
yeah,
To just quote a song, but it is literally working out on a strategy and then achieving
yeah.
something. And, oh,
And
we did it. Now next.
yeah, to be fair, I never actually knew about it all. I just until like I was older and I'd like it passed my time on World of Warcraft. So
Mm,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, folks. If you haven't, I'm gonna give them a quick just copy and paste this message.
okay.
Don't know how to. As when we were testing this out earlier, I tried to do the command and it didn't work. It's only on a timer apparently. So those are the links to Watch's Twitter and Twitch. Give him a follow. I don't know about you,
Thank
but
you.
I already know he's an awesome guy, and hopefully after today's stream, you all know that too. Um, we were gonna play some tabletop simulator. I don't know if it's maybe a bit late to start kicking off a game of Settlers of
He's
Catan.
probably because also playing Catan in 2 probably is
Yeah.
not gonna be as perform because you're not gonna trade to me my your wood, and I'm gonna trade by my rock. So
Exactly.
yeah, we are on a standstill at the moment. But
Um,
yeah,
so you did mention Rocket League. Is there any other games that you'd we might both have? You
I have to probably install Rocket League, so
got...
I need to check on that. Let me double check if I
Yeah,
can
no problem.
actually
The other one
get it
here that
quick.
you probably might have that I have installed at the moment is Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, again the computer is fresh, so
Ah, that's cool. That's cool. Well, if we don't have
yeah.
these games, we can just end it there, and we'll-
I,
I'll let you
I have
check.
no problem. But yeah, I only have like 5 games installed, and none of them are multiplayer on Steam, sadly, because I had this computer only for the last like month, and I only installed the games that I was going actually to play.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
So, but that's perfectly fine.
so. Is all the parts completely new then?
Yes, it's completely new. I bought the new rig for Division 2.
Nice.
So I got frustrated when the last beta opened with my old computer and I couldn't stream and play it. So I said, if I want to make this game my main game for the channel, I have to invest in something different. And then we managed to get this game from PC Specialist through eBay after a long, troubled month of sending it back twice because they built it faulty.
Oh no.
So the amount of time I had to install stuff has reached quite a lot.
At least you're an
So,
expert right now.
oh, clearly, yes, clearly an expert now.
I'm in
But
it
yeah,
installing and stuff. So, what sort of like what have you got in it then that helps? What sort of like graphics cards, processor, etc.
I have. I'm gonna tell you exactly because I don't remember every spec. Let me
That's
double
fair.
check.
I only know
It's
my spec perfectly these days because I'm constantly looking to see what I can upgrade next.
yeah. So is currently is an i7 8700,
Nice.
3.2 gigahertz, with 12 CPUs apparently.
All the
16,
CPUs.
16 meg of RAM, and the graphic card is 2070 RTX.
2070. Oof.
Yes.
Damn, that system's gonna last you for years.
Yes. So yeah, I wanted to be sure that not only I could play Division 2 at decent specs,
Yep.
but I assumed that it was going to be pretty beefy also for when Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, which is going to be my new story game when it comes out. And I wanted to be sure that I get something that could run it properly. So I should be fine for a while.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, is like these are investments. Like although it's big chunky prices now, when you think about how many hours, how much time you spend on it, I always see how the way I figure like do all in my head is like, how much money have I spent on this every hour? Like when you think
Yes,
about the rig,
absolutely.
it's like, all right, cost me like £1,200, 1,200. That's a
Yes.
lot of money, but I've spent like 10,000 hours on it, so it's less than it's like 12p an hour. Like a great investment, really.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely, indeed. Yeah, machines like this are an investment because, of course, if you then spend all your time using them, it becomes an investment because you're spending your time here. I mean, there are people that prefer spending 20, 30 quid every weekend in beer.
Yep. Or to go to the
I
cinema and buy some
or to go to
popcorn.
cinema. I buy games on Steam. I have an addiction. I buy games on Steam. So
Those Steam sales get you hard.
yes, indeed, especially
That
when you
sounded
have a
so
lot of
wrong as well.
things.
I didn't intend it to be like that.
No, no, clearly, no, clearly. Well, depends. But yeah, but no, yeah. When especially you have a lot of games on the wish list, and you get the email. Oh, there's 15 games in your wish list that are announced. And, oh no, why are you telling me now this?
It was up twice a slice. I would
Hello,
literally,
twice as nice.
I've just saw my phone, and on my phone, so my other half is clearly watching this at the moment, and she's like, "Hypocrite! You buy popcorn at the cinema all the time." I wasn't dissing. I wasn't.
Wow.
I wasn't dissing people who do it. I'm just saying that people can't like go out and do that and then complain when someone goes out and buys like a super expensive
Wow.
rig. I'm happy to
The,
not buy popcorn in the cinema if you allow me to get a new processor.
the burn is live and real.
I have been called out hard.
Wow, wow, wow. That's fantastic.
Oh, but yeah,
But
I can't believe we've been talking for almost like
2 hours.
2 hours. That wasn't even hard as
Fantastic.
well. So for people who don't know, I give out a questionnaire to people when they come on Franchise TV, and it gives me some like background information that we can discuss. I did not look at that once. This was
You
all
could,
natural. This was
yeah,
easy. Do you know
nothing scripted.
conversation like this shouldn't be hard. It's
Mm,
damn.
absolutely.
I really just want to play board games now. Can't wait to be able to go home and because they're all mines are currently in the UK.
Oh
So
wow, yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh
yeah.
dear.
All
It
right.
was a
So
fantastic time. Was a fantastic time, pal.
yeah. So obviously as the guest, we always like to finish as with a raid. So you get the honor of choosing who we get to go raid. 'Cause guest privilege.
Yeah. Let me see if this person is still playing games because, of course, the sidebar of Twitch is always telling you the people are playing when in reality they are not. So I'm just checking
Yeah.
after the Yeah.
Yeah, you can send that raid to them and they've just finished, and it's like, oh, this is awkward. I've done it a couple of times when
Yes.
I've sent a raid to someone and they're on a break. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Okay. Yes, he's still playing and is a very good friend of mine, and has been very supportive to me as a friend and as a uh, guest in my channel and everything else. His name is the Berserker. I put it in here in the chat
Sweet.
so you can. And he's currently playing Dark Souls.
Boom. Well, we're gonna get to go see the Berserker. Thank you very much again for coming on. For anyone who hasn't already done so, follow this man. He's amazing. And if you ever want to chat board games, definitely hit him up because the man knows his shit. But yeah, it's been freaking awesome having you on. Super grateful that you were able to join us. And
It was my pleasure,
yeah, and well, I'll be chatting to you around. So
of course.
to everyone on stream, let's
Thank you,
go
everybody.
show some love to the Berserker. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.